Okay, this is an absolute declaration of fact from my good friends at the Telegraph, Daily Telegraph. Why men are the weakest sex. So it's a categorical statement, no question mark on the end of it. And this has been written by, rotten, there's a Freudian slip, by Roger Highfield, who apparently is the science editor. And this is from 2002. And he starts off, it used to be thought that men died sooner than women because of fast living. Don't you mean hard living, Roger, and working down those coal mines and in those shipyards and working far longer hours than women, and in Britain retiring 5 years later? But he continues, because of fast living, violence and reckless behaviour? I have no idea what he means by that. I mean, does anyone see old men wandering the streets, beating each other up and beating them up in pubs? Dear Lord. Today, however, scientists say this is not the whole story. Studies lead them to conclude that men are weaker. Well, of course they do. And the day that they said that the opposite, if they said the opposite, they'd never get a grant again, or they'd be fired. How many scientists have you seen? That guy who put that thingy on a a flying comet, he made a grovelling apology because of some silly jumper that he wore with I don't know, with half-naked women on, and there was a guy, I'm sure he was a Nobel Prize winner, who, yeah, he was, and he said that women in science tend to cry, and he either resigned, but he certainly made a grovelling apology. I do know that. Anyway, apparently men are debilitated by the male sex hormone testosterone, and to make matters worse, men who tend to be larger than women, that's most men, are encumbered by their size. Straight away, this just sounds so silly. Where the bloody hell would we be without the male sex hormone testosterone? And that reminds me, there was this professor of, I don't know, something or other. He appeared on BBC's Newsnight programme, so it was quite a number of years ago now, and he was explaining how he'd come to the conclusion that men would be better off without their testicles, and at the same time, though, he said that he didn't want to lose his testicles, and he smirked his way through the entire interview, as if it was almost as if he'd come up with this just maybe so that he'd get on TV, I don't know. Oh, by the way, I've just received a community guidelines strike or something like that, which I've appealed, and came out remarkably quickly after I'd actually put this video out, and the video was taken down, and like I say, I've appealed the thing because I have no idea what I did wrong. But I mean, this is obviously isn't YouTube looking around. This is someone who must have complained about my videos. Well, you can complain about all the videos you want with it. I don't make a living out of this. You do, you know, if you're opposed to me, you do your bloody worst. Don't make any difference to me. I just if I got thrown off YouTube, I'd just go back to my past life, or I don't know, do my own thing, whatever. Anyway, let's carry on with this article. Sarah Moore and Dr. Ken Wilson of Stirling University reported that one reason is that men are more susceptible to infections, from bacteria and viruses to fleas, worms and mites. So this makes men weaker, apparently. Ms. Moore and Dr. Wilson compiled reports of parasitism in mammals. Well, women are bloody great parasites when it comes to taking the money out of your wallet and spending it. I believe they spend, last time I heard, and despite the fact that men pay most taxes, and obviously men earn most money because they work harder and get better positions in work, but women, I've heard women spend around 80% of the family income. So now that's parasitical as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, they found a small but significant increase in male infections. Well, how can it be both small and significant at the same time? That just doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, oh dear God, here we go. There are various reasons why males are affected more by disease. Testosterone may suppress immune systems, said Dr. Wilson. May, so he's not quite clear, but he does point out that castrated men outlive non-castrated men by up to 15 years. I'll tell you what, Dr. Wilson, why don't you have yourself castrated and see whether you live longer? Are you up for that? No pun intended. Or any? Where do they get him? But Dr. Wilson continues, this is unlikely to be the whole story, he says, because men tend to be bigger, they may present bigger targets. Now, I actually didn't think about that, but that is completely logical. And he finishes, in those species in which females are larger than males, the females also tend to be more heavily parasited. So, parasitized, or whatever. This suggests that there is nothing special about being male per se. It is just that males tend to be larger than females, in mammals at least. So, in other words, we've got an article from the Telegraph, which, God, I used to respect that paper so much. I used to read it when I was a kid. Why men are the weaker sex, and it's based on pretty much not that much at all. And as this video has been relatively short compared to my usual ones, this is completely off on a tangent here, but there is one animal in the world, male of the species, and the only one. I'm thinking about all of those men bringing up children that they think that are theirs, and there are varying statistics as to how many men are bringing up children they believe to be their own, which are actually biologically the children of other males that their wives or girlfriends have been having sex with. There's one animal that knows for certain, and this is the animal, if you believe in reincarnation, this is the animal you want to come back as, and that is the seahorse. The seahorse is just a little bit of trivia, but nevertheless, the seahorse is the only animal I'm aware of where the female passes the embryonic sac to the male seahorse. He then impregnates it, and then the little seahorses scatter. So he's the only come back as a seahorse, guys. I'm not sure how much longer I'll be able to come back if I keep getting these bloody strikes. But anyway, thank you very much if you've got this far. Consider subbing. Thumbs up always helps, and thank you.